Hi, this is Steve Johnson. I have Johnson's Portside up on Mille Lacs Lake, and I'm a sitting member of MILFAC, the Mille Lacs Lake Fisheries Advisory Committee. I want to do a few parts, 5-minute videos, give you a little information on what MILFAC does and the state of the fishery on Mille Lacs Lake. We'll start out with the state of the fishery. Fishing last winter, fishing this summer has been incredible. It's some of the best fishing that we've ever seen. So whatever you hear in the media about the declining this or the declining that in Mille Lacs Lake, the physical evidence is somewhat pointing in 180 degrees the opposite direction. So let me go over a few things that the DNR has claimed are issues with Mille Lacs Lake, and we've been addressing them on MILFAC. The big six is what I call it, and we have zebra mussels, we have spiny water fleas, clear water, climate change, low plankton, which is zooplankton or phytoplankton, and the abundance or lack of forage. I'll go through these one by one. First, I'll go with zebra mussels. Zebra mussels, which very few people know, are actually declining in Mille Lacs Lake. Declining, which means that they're not increasing, they're declining. So for those to be a detrimental factor, Mille Lacs is not the perfect environment for zebra mussels. Spiny water fleas are also in Mille Lacs Lake, and there's nothing we can do about them, which is exactly what we can do about zebra mussels. Absolutely nothing. The clear water, which has been claimed to have changed the ecosystem of Mille Lacs Lake, was now blamed on the Clean Water Act that was implemented in the 70s. Up until last year, zebra mussels were the blame for clear water on Mille Lacs Lake, and now the story has changed and it's a Clean Water Act. I've seen the tables on the clear water from the 70s to present day, and they range anywhere from 7 feet of clarity to 16 feet of clarity, and back to 7 feet of clarity from, basically their chart goes up, down, up, down, up, down. So there is an average in there somewhere. But my opinion, which these videos are my opinion, it doesn't have that much of a factor, because if you have a windy day, we get dirty water. If we have a rain, we get dirty water. It can certainly change it. The other thing is climate change that the DNR has brought up, and I'm not going to address that one. Another one is the low plankton. It's been brought up that the lower part of the food chain is affecting the upper part of the food chain. But the DNR has no data on a baseline for what Mille Lacs actually needs as far as plankton goes. So whether it's low, whether it's high, we certainly had some because the bait fish were well fed in 2013, and those bait fish also fed the 2013 walleye class, which is huge, one of the largest on record, and it's swimming out there right now. The other one, which I think is the most important on Mille Lacs Lake, is the bottom one, the abundance or lack of forage. If we get a record year class and we have a good forage, which is bait fish, it will get well fed and the lake will move on and everything is usually okay. Normally we will thin some of those large year classes. This time the DNR decided on a total protectionism clause, so they're not harvesting any of them. And myself, my opinion is they're basically leaving an eating machine out there, which is the larger walleyes, and they're also creating an eating machine, which is the smaller walleyes, both of which I think can be detrimental to the forage base. And unfortunately, if the forage base doesn't include perch, the forage base becomes walleyes. So any walleyes that are born in the spring become forage by midsummer. So it's always nice when we have a perch hatch and good forage baits, which also include spot-tail shiners, trout perch, yellow perch. There's just a lot of things out there to eat. But years that are bad can be very detrimental to walleye year classes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to cut this one off. Remember, this is all my opinion, and we'll go on to part 2.